What's good, YouTube? I just want to let y'all know that the so-called conspiracy videos that people are calling them, and for safety reasons, not that I fear nobody, um, but a good friend of mine on YouTube, her channel is no longer up. Jane Tande, she's a real good friend of mine. We used to talk back and forth, message each other and stuff, and share our content, and then give our thoughts on life, and then she would give me her thoughts on life, and then we would speak about what was really going on up in the skies above. But last night something disturbing happened, and not only was it disturbing, my little trip this morning left me speechless. Once again, I told y'all I don't fear nobody. When I leave the house, I always leave with protection. Um, to everybody out there that's watching this, y'all do know that I work out, I stay in shape. I love lifting my weights. I do my cardio. I do all of that. I do some stretches. So this morning I was out, and the reason why I'm saying it was disturbing last night. Beyond disturbing, it freaked me out because I couldn't do nothing about it. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I couldn't do nothing about it. So with that being said, I'm gonna fall back with my so-called conspiracy videos. Not for the fear of my channel being gone, none of that, none of that. Just so nobody gets hurt. Let's just put it that way. And I don't want to hurt nobody. Um, so I went out for my morning exercise. I was on a bike trail. I wasn't biking, I was jogging, I would walk, I would jog, I would walk. I get halfway down the trail and there was a tree blocking the path. So I figured maybe, okay, a storm, which we had some storms here and some nice winds, maybe the storm knocked the tree down. So that made me turn around. I went like 300 yards through the trail, but that's turning uphill, downhill, around. So that was like my cue to turn around and go back. And in some way, I wish I never went back, but I did go back. So I turn around and I head back to go get off of the trail. As soon as I got to the entrance, there's this little yellow bar gate with a chain, so cars can get through there, park, and do whatever, or the young dudes can't come down there with four-wheelers, quads, and three-wheelers, the trikes, and ride around through the trail because it's only for pedal bikes only. So as I got up to that pole gate, the swing gate, this Yukon pulled up, all black tinted windows. When it turned around, I like to notice the license plate to see where I thought it was a bunch of dudes, you know, about to come back in the back cut and smoke weed or whatever. The windows never went down. No music was banging in the back. Basically no bass. So I'm like, who is this in this? So I did my little stall walk as I'm coming up to it and made sure I was ready to pull out if I had to. My main goal is to get away if I gotta dip out or I gotta run. I'm not gonna open fire on somebody unless my life is in danger. You jump out and start shooting at me, then I'm gonna have to give it to you. They turned the Yukon around and the license plate didn't have nothing on it. There was no license plate. It was just blacked out. And tires was brand new. This was like a showroom Yukon. Shiny, black. They rode through the dust and the gravel and it seemed like no dust got on the vehicle. These two guys got out. These two white guys got out of the truck and they had on tan khaki pants. And the one guy had on the little half button up with the collar. They had the collar button up shirts with the collar, so it wasn't all the way buttoned there. Their pants was tan and their shirts was black and they had a little symbol right here. I wish I would have been recording, but if I'd have been recording, it wouldn't have mattered because they would have probably tried to force take my camera. I wouldn't have let that happen. But their appearance looked, not law enforcement, they looked like some kind of agency. And one of them I said, hey, how you guys doing? And he was like, we're gonna cancel all of that. He said, you Trey 5'7", and I'm like, wow, because I was in a neighborhood where nobody knows me in this neighborhood. This is, you park on a parking lot, and then you go and do your walk. You can head on down to the river as far as you can. So I told him, oh yeah, you know me from my YouTube channel. He said, yeah, but that's not a good thing depending on what you do on that channel. So I'm sitting there like my mind is scrolling like, what did I do on my YouTube channel that got y'all approaching me like that? Who are y'all? And they had their pistols on the side of them. And I'm like, okay, everybody allowed to have a gun. Now you wouldn't, just you not having a gun, I'd be worried. So everybody in America got a gun now. So I didn't fear that. It was just the way they jumped out. And I said, yeah, I'm Trey 5'7", and he said, you might want to fall back on the content that you make. And I said, I ain't stopping my YouTube channel for nobody. He said, I didn't say your YouTube channel, the things that you say on your channel. And I'm like, define that, you know, what do you mean? What am I posting that got y'all all up in the bunch? He said, you speaking of things that people don't care to hear about. And I said, well, if it's something that you don't like to hear, all you got to do is you got kids that watch my channel, is that it? If that's the case, then, you know, there's parental things on the YouTube. You don't let your kids tap into adult content. He said, no. You speaking of things that, I said, oh, you mean I'm teaching people some things? He said, yeah, that's it. And he said, things happen to people that go against the code. And I'm like, go against the code? What? Who? I said, is y'all law enforcement? If y'all is, I said, your license plate ain't even got an MG on the back of it. And he said, this vehicle doesn't require a license plate. We could go anywhere in the world at will. And I'm like, at will? Once again, my mind is scrolling. And I said, all right, so y'all want me to stop doing what I'm doing? Is y'all part of YouTube? Like, did I violate the policies? If that's the case, you would have took my channel down. They don't hunt and stalk nobody down. But I felt it kind of strange that they met me on this trail as I exited, and the tree was down, and I ended up coming out, and they was there. He said, you're good, buddy. And I said, buddy, I got a name. Why don't you just call me Trey 5'7"? Don't call me buddy. I never knew that we was friends, you know, and he was like, oh, smart guy. I said, no, just y'all approaching me like this, like y'all got muscle. Like, I'm far from stupid. What's up with this? And he said, just do me a favor. He said, you know, people, they come up missing. And I'm like, they come up missing? I said, okay, what you saying? He was like, you followed a few people on YouTube and some of them ain't on YouTube no more. And I'm like, wow, who the hell is he talking? Then my eyes got big and I was like, okay, all right, I see where y'all going with this. He said, you can post anything you want, but if you want to be careful, watch what you post. This won't be your last visit. He said, oh, I said, whoa, that a threat, man? He was like, oh yeah, we know you carry. I said, yeah, I'm legally allowed to carry. He said, look, we don't care about that thing you got on your waist either. I said, how you know I'm packing? He said, you Trey 5'7". I started laughing. He said, oh, you find that funny? I said, no, I just laughed because you said that and you do know that I carry a pistol legally. You want to see my credentials? But I want to see yours first. He said, ain't no need of that. You don't need to see ours. You're not going to see ours. And we don't want to see, we're not interested in your credentials. We already know who you are. And he said, like I said, people come up missing. And I'm like, all right. And all I was thinking was, I can't run. If I do run, what if they shoot me or something? Like, who is these dudes? But they had some muscle. They had some pull because the police had rode past. They slowed down. They pulled in, looked down, and their little siren went, and then they pulled right on out. So with the muscle they had, maybe the police didn't even want to bother. Maybe they did something that made them turn around mentally. So once again, as we having this conversation, I'm thinking, okay, wow, I'm gonna have to change my content. He said we forgot to mention something, and keep in mind, y'all, I said to y'all in the beginning of this, the weirdest thing about this nobody knows because I didn't even post a video about it. But I didn't forget about it. I just thought it was just one of them things that happen once every 7 months around me. Objects moving and things going. He said to me, oh, by the way, that Coleman sitting in your hallway. I said, what? He said, oh, let me explain it in English for you. He said, that lantern that was in the middle of your hallway, and he put his finger on his head, and they walked back to his Yukon, and he put the windows up, and I'm like, hey, and they pulled off. So I'm thinking to myself, like, how in the fuck, how did they know? I didn't even, listen, y'all, so let me tell y'all what happened. So the Coleman and that light he was talking about, last night I was watching TV, and I got up to go into the kitchen, and when I went into the kitchen, I turned around to go back in the room, and I looked down on the floor, my Coleman lamp. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you how freaky this is. Let me go get it real quick. It's right, yeah, I'm still outside, y'all. So y'all can hear me, I'm still outside, I'm still outside. I'm still outside, so y'all know I'm outside. Check this out. So, and I set this outside last night after that. Didn't make no videos about it, didn't talk about it, but this Coleman lamp right here, y'all see this thing? A person wouldn't have this in their house, okay? This is like a bomb, all right? The gas could be accidentally left on. It get enough gas in here, boom, some kind of light hit it, a spark, boom, this thing is gone. So let me just say this. That was sitting on the floor in the hallway when I turned around to go back into the room. I didn't put it there. When I seen that on the floor, I immediately pulled my pistol off my hip and walked around the house and checked all the doors. All the doors was locked. Nobody could have got in the house. I went down into the basement, went to the back door. There's something I got propped against the door just in case that door got kicked in or something by anybody, a home invasion. Something would fall and make a noise and it would get me up and I'd be on high alert. There's no windows in the basement for you to get in if you wanted to. They're just little rectangular window, vent windows. So after I seen that, I'm like, oh my, wow, that was a spiritual event. Some paranormal event happened here, and I just left it alone. I didn't put my energy into it. I went back upstairs and I took this lamp, and I set it outside by the door. And I said, wow, I ain't even gonna make a video on that. But now I'm only making a video on that, telling y'all that because of my little encounter at this bike trail. And when he said that, let me tell y'all something. When he said to me, we could come at will, and then a no license plate. Remember, I used to speak on portals and telling y'all about the 5G and all that and other in dimensions, and people can cross through dimensions. And throughout life, we was taught that things were ghosts, and they ain't actual ghosts. They can come at will. They could come through portals, y'all. Time warp holes, wormholes, warp zones, shit like that. That's real. So with that being said, I ain't speaking on none of that. I ain't even gonna speak on extraterrestrial. I'm cool off of that, because once again, like I said, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. So that's the last video y'all gonna ever hear me speaking on that kind of stuff. Not even up in the sky. I mean, I'm gonna just let the sky be what it is. And that little encounter was scary I had today because somebody could have got hurt real bad. But I am gonna keep giving y'all my gun content. I'm at loss for words right now. I'm gonna just let y'all go with that. Salute, love y'all always. Trey by 7 gonna be here. But if y'all looking for me, you know my content gonna be about my guns, my gun channel. Love y'all. Stay blessed.